No, you feel like a prisoner in your own body. Damn, yeah, like she's crazy. All right, everyone cool. Yeah, let me just check. See.
Testing.
Yeah. Oh, let me just. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. All right, audio good. All right, yo, let's just hone it in. Episode 86, MIC podcast, man. Community content. You get it all here, and not to ruffle any feathers, but I think we have our most special guest to date. Shout out to everyone that's been on the podcast, but we have the legendary Mrs. Robinson in the building. What's going on?
Thank you so much. I
No, thank
appreciate
you. No, for sure.
Just fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Thanks for
No,
having
absolutely. Thank you. So I don't want you kind of go over your history just because like you've kind of went over in previous interviews, like before. So I just want to dive into it. Like, do you feel as if it was purely just like your marketing experience that like kind of allowed you to be so successful within adult entertainment in like such a short time?
Sorry. 100%. So my background in marketing and advertising, I truly believe that anyone, regardless of what you look like, what your background is, you can be successful in any occupation, especially entertainment, musicians, artists, if you market properly. I was a 50-year-old suburban mom, just working in corporate America, came out of nowhere and applied the skills from a more than decades-long career in advertising to adult, and within 6 weeks, just blew the market, went straight to the top. It was absolutely unbelievable.
What were those like 6 weeks like initially for you? Like what were like the steps to even?
It was the steps before the 6 weeks because you might find it funny, I'm a nerd. I'm like a data nerd.
You're talking to like, no, you're literally in the nerd den right now. Like this is.
I'm such a
Yeah.
geek though. Like I like spreadsheets and data, and I analyze the data because I had a problem believing that anyone wanted to see like older women online like that.
Was that like an internal thing or like it was just like maybe?
Society
Okay, yeah.
because they have all these products out there, look younger, be younger, feel younger. And so society is telling us that men want us to be younger. And so that's what I've heard my whole life. Oh, somebody will leave you for a younger woman.
Talk to the mic a little bit more.
What's that?
You said talking to the mic a little bit more.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, no, you're all good.
Yeah, somebody will leave you for a younger woman. And that's not the case. I looked at the data and I found that so many searches are more for adult, mature, cougar, stepmom, teacher than hentai, than teen, than the Riley Reeds. I mean, I love Riley. She's
Yeah,
a dear friend of mine, but like there's such a market for the older woman demographic. So when I saw the data, that I know data doesn't lie.
Yeah,
So I'm like, okay, so they like their mommies.
right.
But I was shocked just how much they like the mommy thing. And that was really surprising. So I personally don't believe it has anything to do with how I look. It's all marketing. I know what goes into a social strategy, what it takes to brand, what it takes to start from the bottom and build, engage with the audience. I know what my demographic is. So those 6 weeks of building, it was all done ahead of time. So as I'm like, okay, keep going. I'm like, whoa. And then it just skyrocketed. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, the numbers don't lie. And it
Just how big was the gap between that and just like some of the other categories? Like,
what do you mean?
just like as far as like the numbers, as far as like the interest, like how much was Mature being out, like, some of the other categories?
Yeah. So every year, let's just say for the last 10 years, Pornhub will do, a recap of the year of the top search terms.
Yeah,
on their
yeah,
site.
no, facts.
They'll do it by state. They'll do it
Yeah,
by
right. No, yeah, I've seen.
different ways of doing that. The most consistent is the mature, the mom, the stepmom, the teacher. The other ones are in there too, but they're consistent. That's what it is. They're always there. There are different areas of the world that are always looking for that in their adult entertainment.
Yeah. Is there like a particular like a region that like you see your highest engagement in?
Yeah. So it changes all the time.
Okay.
And it's funny you say that because when I do targeted advertising campaigns, we search to find out who's looking for this
Right. Yeah. Right.
now.
Right.
And we gauge the campaigns to target those audiences. Like Toronto for a while, they were on fire. Teacher content.
It's a lot of studious people in Toronto. Okay.
Yeah, so it varies. Ohio is a really big MILF loving community.
Okay.
Yeah. Ohio as a state is, I would say, the biggest MILF loving state.
Okay. So like when you started like picking up that traction like within the 6 weeks, like what were like how did you react to that?
I was blown away. I
Okay.
could not believe it. I was truly mind blown. It was like, I called it funny money. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
that this was real. It just felt so, I don't even have words. It was COVID, we were all kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
During
Sure.
COVID,
Sure.
it messed us all up.
Sure.
But everybody was at home. They had these government checks and they were spending it online.
Facts.
It just truly blew me away, the amount of money that is being spent online for adult entertainment.
So were you still working in corporate America during COVID?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So I turned 50 in 2020, and right before then I retired. I had been working, I don't know if you've ever watched Mad Men. It's like
No, I've never watched it personally, honestly.
show about
Don't kill me, y'all. I apologize. I know there's a lot of Batman fans.
it's a TV show about advertising. It's like the real nitty gritty of advertising,
Like early, right? Like the 60s, right? Like should have syndicated word, yeah. Yeah.
branding, and so that's the world I was in, teaching Fortune 500 companies how to brand, how to market, how to digitally advertise and target the right audience for their brand. And I knew if I could teach Best Buy or
Sure.
Morgan Stanley how to
right.
do it, if I just apply that to this random 50-year-old suburban mom, how could it not work?
Yeah, right.
It's just numbers. It's
Sure.
just targeting. It's advertising, and it worked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So at what point, just like within that time frame, or just like even after like the 6 weeks, did you just like make the full jump into adult entertainment?
I don't know. It moved so fast.
Yeah, right.
I had not anticipated it going as well as it did. I truly didn't. I thought, oh, this is nice. This will be fun. I was traveling a lot for my job. I was constantly on a plane, flying to client meetings, meeting with advertising agencies every week. And being a single mom, I hated leaving my kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it just didn't sit right with me, like with my spirit. I'm
Sure.
like, this doesn't feel right, leaving my kid all the time. And here, mom, can you watch, your grandchild so I can go to work? And I was kind of like putting it out in the universe, like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? And, I had talked to this acquaintance of mine at the time, and he said, have you ever thought about doing MILF porn? And I said, absolutely not. Like,
Right.
I live in the biggest suburban bubble of hell
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania that there is. I'm like, I have my master's degree. I'm not doing porn. Like,
Yeah.
are you crazy?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, because my wife, she makes like, I don't know, 300 grand a month, and she does this. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, let's run those numbers just back one more time. How many zeros did you just? Okay, got you.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the money. People were like, oh, well, you sold your soul to the devil for money. I made a very good living in advertising,
Yeah.
in, authentic corporate,
Sure.
the authentic corporate world. I made a very good living. So it wasn't the money, but I was just shocked by that number.
Sure,
And I
right.
said, show me your back end. I want to see the data and what's behind it. And, I talked to my family. I talked to a bunch of people about it ahead of time. I didn't go into it flippantly because I had a teenager at the time, and I
Yeah.
wasn't about to like blow their world up and
Sure.
have them go into school and like, your mom's pussy's on the internet, But fortunately, I raised like, my kids to be very open.
No, and I was even going to say like you have just handled that just incredibly well.
Thank
Just like in like the way that you even navigated that, and just like we're very transparent and very forthcoming about just the whole experience and just like taking their perspective into account. Like I just want to commend you for that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
No,
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
people all the time were like, oh, her kid's really not okay with that. Like, it's really going to blows brains out. And I'm like, really, no, like that's not how it is in our house. We're really open about things. And, you can even talk to my kids' friends. They don't, I'm not like sitting there working at home.
Yeah.
I have food on my face. My hair's in a wreck, and I have no makeup on. I'm sitting there eating like cookies
Yeah, right.
and saying Miss Robbins,
Sure, right.
just who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm just, my kid's mom. And so it just was never a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, I feel that.
yeah.
When you're just kind of talking to some of your colleagues, honors like about their careers, like how about like do you even get a sense of like I kind of like know more about this aspect of the industry than you do, and you've been in here like double my time, and like
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you feel about that? Like,
It was kind of wild.
Yeah.
So when I crossed over, I actually trolled Brazzers. I'm sure you're familiar with Brazzers.
yeah, I think I've heard of
Porn
the
company.
their establishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I trolled Brazzers because I knew if I trolled them, I could get the attention of the biggest porn company in the world.
Mm.
And I tweeted something like, 6 people today told me I should be on Brazzers. And within an hour, their number one director, their number one performer, Kieran Lee, his penis is insured for $1 million,
Holy shit.
tweeted back at me and said, I agree and I want to direct you. Come to LA.
Was that tweet true?
Was the tweet true?
Yeah. They're like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a troll. It was
That's
so I'm such a troll.
Yeah.
No, I like you look at me, you wouldn't know how.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It
Okay.
was like I knew what it would take to get their attention, and I'm hashtagging them and adding at Brazzers, and it worked. And I went out to LA, and they sat down with me, and they're like, "Who are you? Where did you come from? And how are you doing this well?" And they basically said, "We've got the adult experience, you've got the marketing. Like, let's collab and let's sit down and talk." And so we've had a lot of really good kind of jam sessions.
Okay.
Like the top of the top, I'm talking like your Johnny Sins, Riley Reid, Cherie DeVille, Alexis Fox, all the way up, the top of the food chain, sitting down, and they taught me what they know about their industry, and I taught them what I know about how to magnify their presence in their industry. And we kind of all worked together to do that. It was really kind of cool. And now they're friends of mine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What would you say that like you learned about their industry like you may not have known before?
So I think in general, you've got,
Fuck it.
pornography, it's the downfall of society in very many ways. I truly believe that. But it's also not going anywhere. It's really not going away. And so I think there are a lot of misconceptions that porn stars are dumb. I can tell you they are not.
Yeah.
I have a master's degree. I went to college. I worked in corporate America and had a very good career. I was in the PTA. Like, we're not dumb. And it's not, Cherie DeVille ran for public office.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Many of the porn stars I met are some of the smartest people I know.
Wow.
And that's taking all the people I know from corporate into consideration.
Okay. Wow.
Having worked with people at Google and Microsoft, like very smart.
Sure, right.
So, and then I thought there was going to be a lot of drug use, and that's not true either. Not everyone is strung out. In fact, I've never been on a set where everybody's like high or doing drugs or whatever. So that was different. I didn't expect that. And then the whole STD testing, like, oh, I bet they all have chlamydia.
Yeah, right. I was going to say.
Sex workers are tested every 14 days.
Yeah.
No one knows their STD status as well as a sex worker.
Sure, right,
like that. Everybody else, that's what I worry about are other people, because they're being tested constantly.
Sure.
And it's in a public database, not public, but a private public database where we can all see,
Okay.
hey, if you want to collab with Johnny Sins, he was just tested. So you can log in and see who's available and tested. And so that was, you hear, oh, they all have STDs, they're dumb, and they're on drugs, they're being trafficked. It's not like that whatsoever. It is very professional. It's very safe. They talk about, oh, well, people are being taken advantage of. And I've been fortunate enough to only work with the high end
Right.
companies. So they actually record you ahead of time. What is on your no list? What are you uncomfortable doing? And you say these things and you're on camera. And then afterwards, did you end up having to do any? No, I did not. Were you ever uncomfortable? No. And they record it to cover their asses, obviously,
Sure.
but to make sure everyone is feeling safe.
Okay.
And I've never once felt unsafe on a set,
Okay.
ever. It's
Dope.
very professional. It's like a movie set.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
wild.
Okay. Word.
Yeah.
Okay. So that like now that's definitely interesting because like people it's just the misconceptions about the non-entertainment industry. Like they're just they pour down on it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like they're the dregs of society.
Yeah.
Like the porn stars are like gross people and they're just not. They're just regular people. And it's very hard for people to separate that it's just a job.
Right.
And like my personal life, you would die. I have not been on a date in over 4 years. Like people might think I'm like out every weekend on dates and being wined and dined. I don't go out. I don't hook up. I mean, my kid will tell you like I'm at home almost all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say like how do you navigate just even trying to build relationships in your personal life, just like outside of work?
It's hard. I mean, I do have other personal things going on.
Yeah.
Like, I have family stuff with an unwell family member that I'm taking care of, but I have a core group of friends and I'm very involved in my kids' lives. But I'm kind of an isolator. I'm kind of a loner and I like streetwear, so I go to like vendor shows, things like that. I like music and concerts. I'm pretty involved in the local music scene and I go into this, but I have a friend who's a pretty well-known local producer, and we're talking the other day, and I said, nobody comes at me sideways. Like, it's very rarely that they do, because I don't carry myself that way. I don't look like I'm out partying. Like, when you see me right now, I don't look like some wild woman.
Yeah.
And he said, well, do you think it's fair to expect someone to not think of you that way? And I said,
do you think it's fair for someone to not think of you that way?
yeah, meaning because of what I do for a job, does that give someone the green light to kind of
treat you however
kind of way? And I said, I would never tolerate anyone talking to me that way because of a job. It's just a job. And I think that's where people are like, it's not a job. And, people ask all the time, like, tell me about the porn set. Like, what's it like? I want to be a porn star. I'm like, you really don't. People think like you're on a porn set. It's 10 minutes of sex and the rest of it is pictures and like promotions and talking and frames and shorts. And it's not this 12-hour day where it's like a big free for all.
Yeah, right. Facts. We'll just meet up and okay, let's get to
Nothing like that. There's nothing enjoyable. I mean, there's nothing enjoyable about it. It's just another day.
It's very much work. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Very much work.
Sure.
Yes, especially the marketing aspect of it because that's where most of my energy goes.
Sure. So like even like when filming, is it all just very mechanical, like professional,
Yes.
like, or is there any just trying to like no, like not at all? Okay.
None.
Okay.
Literally none.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and you have to make sure your face isn't making it look like this is just a job
Oh, okay.
because they're trying to get certain angles of things and like people, I know people, because guys DM me all the time, I want to get into porn. I'm like, you really don't. You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, that's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
It's not this, like, free-for-all fuck fest.
Yeah, facts.
At all.
Sure. No, okay. So it was Brazzers like the first pretty much big company that like you work with?
Yeah. I was the very first person to ever start their career at Brazzers because you
Wow.
have to normally climb the porn corporate ladder, I guess.
Well, yeah. Where does that ladder even
Like-
start? Yeah, like
Yeah, you start somewhere else. And I honestly think it's because of my age, too. There aren't very many 50-year-olds popping into the industry.
yeah, right. Facts.
So that was kind of wild. But yeah, Brazzers and then some other, like milfed.com. And they still reach out to me. I have an agent. And I don't even shoot mainstream anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to because it doesn't make sense marketing wise to really shoot mainstream, because then that really, these women and men who came into the OnlyFans scene, that's where you make your money. You don't make money in porn
Okay.
because you shoot a scene for Brazzers and then they own it. You get paid whatever your rate is.
Yo, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. The video's out there forever.
Yeah.
And you were already paid, you're done. So I worked with, that was something they showed me how to do. Like I sat down with Cherie and like Nikki Benz, Alexis Fox, and I'm like, what are your rates? What does that look like? And, they showed me how to do it. And I say no 99 times out of 100. And, I don't have to do that because that's not where the money is. And I'm not going to just I don't need to do it.
Yeah. But when did you stop shooting mainstream?
Well, I had a surgery, like a medically necessary surgery, about a year ago. And so I was kind of down for the count with that. And then I just never started back up. I've had a lot of different offers for it, but I don't need it. I wanted to do it to say that I did it. And it was part of the whole thing was really just, can I make this happen? Can I really be a complete nobody and then take the industry by storm? And I did it. And it was like a huge accomplishment to be able to come out of nowhere and be this really boring, like single mom, watching TV, eating popcorn every weekend with my dog, to having this wild online persona.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I have a publicist and he's like, hey, can you post more on your Instagram of, your day-to-day life and put that in your stories? People like to see that. And I'm like, I'm just so boring.
Right, yeah. This is it. This is all there is. Like,
yeah, it's been a wild ride. And we talked about the memes, how to structure an Instagram presence. I actually have a backup Instagram page I'm probably going to turn into teaching people how to grow their brand through socials.
Nice.
And how many stories you should have up, when they should be posted, which days they should be. And because I like to help other people, I've been helping like some local up and coming musicians with their social branding, things like that. Because I like to help people and I'm not a gatekeeper. And I just, we were talking earlier, I think there's enough room at the top for all of us.
Yeah. I think that's just like, even a misconception, just like just really in life abroad, that like if someone else's success takes away from your own, pursuit of it, which is, the opposite is like, probably even more true. But like, so like, even like with like the mainstream stuff, like, did you like talk to anyone about owning your content when you're shooting mainstream, or like, did like anyone try to, or like
about owning my content?
Yeah, just like when you were shooting mainstream, because you were saying like once you shoot like a scene for like, bro, okay, so just outright,
They own it outright. You sign off on it, and that's their content for their sites, and they can do whatever they want with it. Which is why, Cherie taught me you charge a very high rate, and if they don't want to pay it, they don't get you.
Fuck it. Yeah, and just even shout out to Cherie, because like it seems like you guys are like pretty close, and like like you have a good rapport. So like, how did y'all even like initially link up, and just like how's y'all's relationship?
So that was kind of cool. So Kieran Lee, when he flew me out for Brazzers, and we sat down, we had a table like this where we sat down and talked marketing, talked targeting, and reaching different audiences and demographics. He said, I want to introduce you to all the top people. And he started
overwhelming for you, like,
I had been in boardrooms with CEOs my whole career, so it felt just like that. I was just meeting more people like that, because I wasn't a big porn watcher, so I didn't know half of the people.
Right.
Like, I did know who these guys were for sure, but he hooked me up with all the top people, and we will shoot TikToks or, cute pictures for Instagram. And it's all for the purpose of driving the traffic to the OnlyFans, where that's the biggest revenue producing stream that there is.
Copy, okay.
That's where the money is being made. And So I really do owe it all to Kieran. He is the one that introduced me to everybody.
Nice.
And then my famous Johnny Sins scene, that was, I used to be a teacher in my 20s, for
Yeah,
real.
oh, sure.
Like, for real. I was
Sure,
a
yeah.
teacher in Pittsburgh in my 20s. And Johnny Sins is from Pittsburgh. I don't know.
Well, no, like when we were like even chopping up at the scene, DJ, like you mentioned that, I was like, holy shit, Jonathan's
Yeah.
from Pittsburgh. That's crazy as hell. Yeah, word. That's wild. Okay.
Yeah, so we were talking and he said, well, we came up with this plan that he would shout me out and make this like, oh my gosh, I just saw my 10th grade teacher is on OnlyFans.
Mhm.
Holy shit. And then his fans bought into it.
Yeah.
And then it snowballed and it just went wild. And, it was probably not for a year and a half until we actually shot.
Okay.
And it was the most requested collab on his, I told you that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And what's interesting is the suburban bubble that I live in. You're going to love this. One of the moms reported me to the school district and said, this mom has had sex with a former student of the school
Whoa.
district.
Damn.
And I thought, first off, I can't believe
That's what I'm saying. Like her sex life must be ass. Like.
but she thought that was real.
Mhm.
Like, she really thought that happened.
Mhm.
And that's not real, honey. It's like entertainment, but
What, like, it's just like how like detached, just like from I don't know, like reality. Yeah, like you have like, yo, this is real, and she is an employed teacher.
I could have right with
What if
former
students like, no, what? No, not for sure.
Yeah, but that really happened where they thought Johnny Sins went to the school district where I had taught
Mm.
and that I was having these relations with former students.
Jesus, that's crazy. But it's even looping back, so it's like you and Sherry, like when did y'all link up and like the
Yeah,
relationship be
so-
between y'all?
Okay, so Kieran introduced us, and then I was in LA we were out there for about, I don't know, maybe a week, 10 days. It was my birthday, my 51st birthday, and I went out with both my kids.
Okay.
We all went out. We rented a sick crib in the Hollywood Hills, and they kind of just did some like touristy stuff while I went, and I left and went to work and then
Okay.
came back, which, people are like, I can't believe you take your kid on a work trip. Well, they're not coming with
You're right. Yeah, right. Sure.
here it goes to work. And so we met up, we went to lunch, and then we did a whole bunch of different, like, really cool TikToks and scenes like that. And we just really clicked. We really vibe. And it was kind of cool. So my daughter just got married. And
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome.
thank you. She just got married, and her husband is a huge Cherie DeVille fan.
Mhm.
So when Cherie and I went out to lunch, I said, I need you to do me a solid. We're going to call my son-in-law. And we called him on FaceTime, and he answered the phone and was like, holy shit. No fucking way.
Of course.
And I was like, hey. She's like, how are you? And
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know what to say. So wild.
That is nuts.
And so, like, I do have a good friendship with her.
I see.
And yeah. And then she helped me navigate because I was nominated for a bunch of awards.
Yeah, an AVN right back in 2020, right?
My first year, I was nominated for an AVN award.
Legendary. Like, that's crazy. Like, what was that like? And which award?
Hottest MILF
Okay.
for AVN. And then for XBiz, Hottest MILF and Top Premium Social Media Star. And
Damn.
that told me my branding and my marketing efforts were working. Because
Yeah. Right.
how is this possible? And of course, I'm not going to win. I mean, these women have been dedicated
Sure.
to the industry for decades. But just to be nominated told me what you have done to create this character.
Yeah.
has worked.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, thank
Like,
you.
did you feel like, I guess, any friction from people that had been in the industry, long and no? Okay, so like it was a very like welcoming type of.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's my age though,
Okay.
because the younger girls are cutthroat.
Sure. Right.
Because you figure there are 50, 20-year-olds trying to break into it to every 50-year-old.
Sure.
I mean,
right.
and that's putting it nice.
Sure.
There's way more of them, so they're catty and cutthroat.
Yeah.
We're all just old and we're tired, and we're just
Yeah.
hey,
We wouldn't even got the energy. Right. Yeah. Right. We wouldn't got the energy for all that shit.
very different.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
They've been very welcoming.
No, definitely. So just even just like as far as like the companies that like you work with, did you only stick to Brazzers, or did you shoot scenes for other companies, or did you just like mainly stick to Brazzers?
No, I've So I had an actual exclusive deal with Blacked.com I was
Okay.
supposed to do. And then the person I was shooting with, their testing came back bad. So we put it on the
Mm.
shelf. And then, because that happens all the time. Somebody
Okay.
gets a bad test.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say like yeah, what's the frequency? So like that,
Yeah,
like it's like a
it
thing.
happens,
Okay, copy. All right, all right.
because they have like outside lives
Sure,
too.
sure.
I know I'm good because
Sure.
I'm not hooking up.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't, I'm
Sure.
not doing that. But um, so we tabled that for a minute. And then I shot for MILF.com.
Mm.
Another MILF site, MYLF.
Mm.
There are some directors, Ricky Greenwood, trying to think of their names right now. But a lot of the um, the team Skeet's been reaching out. I'm not going to shoot with them.
Yeah.
They've all reached out, and I've shot maybe 10 mainstream scenes. And that's it. And I'm good.
Yeah. What makes you like turn down shoots? Like what about them? Just like is it like the pay? Is it just
I just don't want to. Like, just, everything has to align perfectly. You can't call me at the last minute. My life is kind of full with taking care of a lot of moving parts in my personal life.
Sure.
So, with family members. So everything the stars have to align. The money has to be worth it. They have to, fly me out. They have to, they're just certain requirements
Yeah,
I
sure.
have. And I haven't had an opportunity be presented to me in the last 3 months that I'm willing to do yet.
Yeah, sure. You said that you only shot the 10 mainstream, scenes. Was that like a cap in your own head that like you said, or was it just like the landscape? Okay, gotcha. Okay.
It just happened to be that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the 10th one, and then um my efforts were turned towards, I was being asked to be on every podcast. I did
Yeah.
Barstool Sports, I did No Jumper, um all of them. I did every podcast that would come across the table. And that became a thing. I think I told you I did 36 of them last year.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah.
That was wild.
No, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Were you doing OnlyFans in conjunction with like your mainstream stuff? And like, do you still do OnlyFans or?
Yeah, so I
Okay.
don't shoot anymore for it.
Okay.
I haven't had to do anything new or make any new content. I made enough that it kind of carries over. I'm probably solid for another 2 years
Okay.
without doing anything new.
Hmm.
And, there's also a misconception about OnlyFans that, you've got Pornhub and you've got OnlyFans. Pornhub is a site, guys, go there. And I know you guys will agree with me. Guys go to Pornhub, they jerk off and they leave. That's it. They're
Yeah.
not interested in talking to
It's like getting like a McGriddle. Like, yo, give me that.
Yeah,
Boom, I'm
right.
out.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
go out tonight. Let's do this and get out.
Facts.
And OnlyFans is more of it's like a Facebook for adults who
Okay.
are either busy or single or have some kind of fetish or something,
Mm.
and they want to get to know people. It's almost like Tinder, Facebook in the adult world is the way I look at it. And I've been on the site for 3 years, and we have, um, I would say I have some a pretty loyal base,
Mhm.
and they follow, all of my social medias, and, they all wanted me to start a podcast. I almost did.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Yeah. Why
It's a long
not?
story. I can't get into it.
Okay.
I was about to start one with a pretty big name, and it kind of went way south. I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah. Sure.
It's worth a story.
Yeah.
But,
Is that still like on your agenda? Would you like get start? Okay.
yeah, I've got some really good ideas. That is on my agenda.
Yeah.
But because I like to help people, I really want to focus on the marketing side of
Sure.
helping up and coming artists, up and coming content creators, even if it's just your lifestyle, like get
Mhm.
ready with me,
Yeah.
or, let's make some pasta. How to take that and turn it into a money making brand, because there are so many ways to make money online, and it doesn't have to be in the adult industry.
Sure.
Especially, there's the music industry is so saturated, and I watch so many of um, the younger generation coming up, and they need guidance. They need to know, like, how do I grow my brand? And I have the ability to show them exactly how to do that.
Hmm.
And I really want to focus on that in this year. Email marketing campaigns. People think email is dead because Gen Z doesn't read their email.
Right.
But, email marketing is still the highest converting media product there is.
Really?
Yeah. And
Wow. That's
like
shocking.
Gen X, and I don't even read my
Yeah,
emails.
just what I said. Like me too. Like I'll schedule some shit like on an appointment and just forget I scheduled because I don't fucking check my email. Like yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I want to do. I really
Okay.
want to help people grow their brand.
Okay, and like, was that just? Did you realize that mainly just because of like the life that like you built for yourself, or because like I know like like your son's an artist as well, So like, did you kind of see him trying to get his thing going on, and then with the journey that you went through, you're like I think I really have like a passion for like getting other people where they need to go too.
Well, absolutely, because that's what I was doing in my corporate job. I was
Right, facts.
teaching people how to do that on a grand scale, like very large campaigns, multi-million-dollar campaigns for
Crazy.
very large companies. And, in Pittsburgh, we have a unique opportunity. There's so much talent here. And how do we grow
It's like a weekly catchphrase on this podcast.
Yes. How do we grow them? And I have so many ways to do that. And I'm a helper by nature. And I just want to be able to do that.
Have you worked with anyone just like so far?
Yeah, I have worked with some local younger artists, helping them. But my own projects take so much of my time
Yeah, right. I imagine.
that I would really love to focus more time on creating kind of a timeline, like a to-do list every week. This is what you should be doing. And I have created kind of a PowerPoint presentation because girls wanted to know how to get into the industry that I was in. And I found myself saying the same things over and over. And I'm like, hey, putting it on a Google Doc. And most people sell it. They sell it as a course. And I'm so not a gatekeeper. I could be making money from doing it.
Yeah.
And I probably should because I am a businesswoman. But maybe at some point I'll do that. But, I've shown so many people, this is how you do it. If you do what I did, you will get what I got. And a lot of people aren't willing to put in the work and they think they know better. And, I don't know how to explain to a 20-year-old content creator that I'm a boomer to them, that some 53-year-old mom knows better how to brand themselves and how to network themselves. And I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I was teaching the companies how to do this. So just trust me that, you need to network. You need to be at every event, get on podcasts. You need to have your music reviewed. When you're on, you need to make TikToks that aren't about your music or whatever it is that you're trying to promote your brand to be. People want to see who you are. My Instagram is all about who I am. My TikToks, I'm a goofy mom and I do really goofy TikToks.
Yeah.
The fans love it.
No, and like, yeah, I mean, it's like even like you said, I feel like anyone like I'm truly a fan of, like their content's probably 15% of that.
Right.
Like the thing like they actually do is like probably 15% of like why I like them. It's like, again, the interviews. I'm just like, okay, like I could sit down, just chill with this, grab a drink with like this person, something like that. And, like that's what's gonna bring me out. Like, and just even, I mean, because like he's an artist himself, so he just won't go to any artist concerts, because it's just like, and like I get that as an artist, like why would you like go to someone else's concert who you aren't directly associated with, you know what I mean? So like just even for myself as a consumer of like music and just art, I'm just like, to bring me to a concert or just like to give my money to meet you where you're at.
Yes.
I really have to appreciate one, your content for sure, but just like you as like a person.
As a human.
Exactly right.
Sure.
So like no, I definitely get what you say, like when you say that.
Yeah. In fact, there's a video of my teenager, a musician, of them. He's skateboarding through LAX.
Okay.
And that video goes crazy because they already know that like he does music, but the LAX, like flying through there on a skateboard, is something different. And they love that lifestyle stuff. And, I've been kind of hammering it into the kids' heads, like record everything. Record it. And I've seen them. They've started with the GoPro, and it's kind of cool to watch them, capturing these moments. And that's what matters. That's what's going to blow up a brand more so than, watch my new video,
Facts.
listen to my new song, come to my show. I mean, that stuff needs to be in there too, but who are you? Tell me who you are outside of the music, because there has to be that buy-in,
Yeah.
you know?
Just kind of going back to the OnlyFans portion, like, because like that's just like such like a separate experience, obviously from like your mainstream content. Did you find it like a little bit more draining to just provide that separate experience for your subscribers on OnlyFans? Like, that's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, so, it is very time consuming to be an OnlyFans creator. I try to make myself available to my fans and converse with them.
Sure.
There are creators who have management companies who are answering messages for them, but they're not exactly providing the most authentic experience. So, yeah, it could be draining, but it's important to set boundaries, because any type of entertainment or industry that you're trying to grow for yourself
Yeah.
is going to be time consuming, and you have to set boundaries, because you're not just going to a 9-to-5 job and then leaving your work there. If you're a musician, an artist, a performer of any type, your job is 24/7, and it's constantly finding opportunities and meeting people that you can learn from. I'm a lifelong learner. If I always told my kids, if you're in a room and you're the smartest one in the room, get the fuck out of the room. You're in the wrong room. You need to be in a room where you're not the smartest one there. You want to learn from people. Like today, I want to be here learning something from all of you. I don't ever want to be the smartest one in the room. And I like to share what I know, and I want to know what you know. And this whole gatekeeping thing is just, it's sickening to me. There's a room at the top for everyone, and there's a room for everyone to shine.
Do you think that you experienced that just kind of in your mainstream career? Any gatekeeping at all?
No, again, it's the age group. I don't know if you ever heard of Brandy Love. She's like the MILF of all MILFs. She's been around the longest, and we've had a lot of candid conversations. They're very big on, I think it's our age, we're big on not gatekeeping. We want to share and help. And so they would say, hey, you might want to shoot with this photographer. They do really great pictures in the Hollywood Hills. They have some really cool houses to shoot in, just to get some good flicks, And I would say you might want to post 3 to 5 stories a day and post them throughout the day, so you always have a story running on Instagram. So we share information, and I think that's what it's all about. But I haven't encountered that. It's more, again, the younger girls that experience that. They don't want to give up the secret, but there's room.
No, I feel that. What did a typical day of filming look like for you usually?
Yeah, so, oh gosh, we'll just go with the Brazzers set, since that was the first one.
Okay.
And I was strangely not nervous at all. I don't know why, but you show up on set. It's usually a house. They call it a shoot house, wherever it might be. They tell you the day of, exactly where it is, the address. It's usually a beautiful house in like the Hollywood Hills or in Calabasas. And you show up there. There's security. There's a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a camera crew. It looks like a complete legit movie set when you get there. And
did you expect it to what did you personally expect a porn set to look like?
I just thought I was going to walk in. There was going to be a room with like a bed, and it was going to be all
right. Hostage situation. Yeah, right. Yeah, some shit like that. Right.
And it was anything but that.
Okay, word.
It was well lit, and it was beautiful. It was clean, and there's food, there's catering, and there are people on set, security, and you have lines you have to read. And I'm like, my memory's so bad. I'm going to remember this shit.
Right.
And then you're just taking pictures, fully clothed pictures that are on the site. And then most of it was pictures and makeup and hair and lunch. And, where there was the scene where we're sitting there fully clothed and we're just eating. And that took an hour. So I was on set for maybe 8 hours. And then they do the recording. Did everything go okay? Did you feel uncomfortable? Did anyone make you feel uncomfortable? Did you feel safe? They do that, and then they pay you, and that's it. Call it a day.
How's the catering on the points like what they feed you? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what they dip you?
And there's
Okay, wait.
Liquid Death water that because it's originated from a porn star. I can't remember if it was Lisa Ann or Kendra. One of the porn stars started Liquid Death, so it's on every porn set. But yeah, they always have, tons of food and great makeup artists. And, when there's downtime, we're making TikToks or, taking pictures for Instagram, and everyone's really friendly.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I had one set where it was a younger girl. She was on set. She was so creepy. Everybody has a no list. So you have a list of people you will not shoot with. And this girl went on my no list. She was like just very unprofessional and super, because it's not a sexual environment, surprisingly. You're there to do a job. And she was kind of like climbing all over these guys. And like, I don't know if she was rolling on ecstasy or Molly or what, but she was just, I wasn't having it. It was her age too.
Hell no.
And I'm like, I called my publicist. I'm like, she is on my no list. Like, vibes were just so off and gross.
Did you leave the shoot or like?
I didn't leave the shoot. No, I didn't have to interact with her on a level like that. But just watching her, she was so young-minded, and it was apparent no one had taught her how to properly behave in a professional environment.
Yeah.
She didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah, that was kind of an ick situation.
Damn.
I never had any strange scenarios happen.
Is that the only person on your no list?
Yeah. No. Because you hear through the grapevine, there are people I trust, their experiences, and I know they're not just saying, "Oh, Bob is a creep." Like, Bob's a creep because Bob did this.
Yeah, yeah, right. Got you. Yeah. Facts.
No, I have a pretty big no list, but I don't anticipating shooting mainstream anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure I would do it again. My attention has really been on marketing and Instagram and podcasts and YouTube and helping other people
Okay.
grow their brands.
So after like, you shot your last, mainstream scene, like, what was kind of like the mentality where like it brought you to, what I think, like you said, like, I think I don't want to like, shoot mainstream anymore. Like, I think I just want to, use my talents elsewhere.
It wasn't just like a moment.
Okay.
In fact, though, that last day that I did shoot was a double scene in one day. So
Oh, yeah.
I said to them at like 1:00, I'm like, hey, going on the no list is 2 shoots in one day. Mama can't hang. I'm so tired.
Yeah, right. That's hilarious.
And I'm like, I can't do that again. And then, some, family member with some health issues that kind of took the seat. And it just kind of happened that way. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm kind of vibing with not doing mainstream right now. But I mean, tomorrow I could get some great opportunity and say, hey, I'm always open-minded and willing to hear about opportunities. And so who knows what the future holds.
Yeah, no, facts. And like, I know you mentioned you had a publicist, but just for the most part, just like as far as, booking some of these shoots and like, doing your thing, was it mostly you or did you have other people helping you out?
Yeah, so I started on my own because my inbox on Twitter and Instagram and Reddit, they were blowing up. Like I have 10,000 unread messages I have 2 Instagram accounts on each platform, 2 Instas, my TikTok, my Reddit, Twitter at all times. And I can't possibly get through them. And people get frustrated and like, what do you expect? I'm a person.
Facts, right.
I can't possibly get through them all. But that's where directors get in touch with you and they reach out for projects. I get a lot of merch in the mail.
Okay.
And people want me to put on
Sponsor their shit. Yeah, right.
and post it. And that kind of stuff's cool. We just got some stuff today from Cake.
Oh.
And then Bleezy Susan, I just did a promo for them. But that kind of stuff's really cool.
Cake the DJ?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's weed.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay.
I don't smoke weed,
Okay.
so I don't know. But the merch is cool.
Okay. Yeah. No. Facts.
So, I can't remember what your question was that I went off on a tangent.
Shit, I'm even trying to remember my damn self. What? Yeah, well, what did
I don't know. I forget.
no. So just like even just like moving on. So just as far as the suburban bubble, I know you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Like I know you plan on getting out of Pittsburgh at some point, but like how have you been, just navigating life just before that point?
Yeah. So the end game is LA for sure. I love Malibu. We take a lot of trips to LA, and I like to stay in different places when we go so that, um, my kid can see the different areas of LA, thinking about where to live. And um, I just love Malibu so much, but it's so far from everywhere we need to be. Um, but I was taking a lot more trips before, my mom got sick. And so the trips are fewer, but I still go out, LA, Vegas, Miami, New York. Those are the four, with LA being the most trips. Um, and it's kind of dismal to say this, but with my mom being sick, I'm not going to leave until, she's no longer with us.
Sure.
And we're kind of it's a waiting game for that. But yeah, LA is the end game
I feel
for
that.
sure.
Have you just I know you said like you lost a lot of like relationships and like when you made your transition, but like even like past that, did you isolate yourself like a little bit more like once you were like in the full stream like the full swing of like your mainstream career?
Yeah, yes. In fact, I found out a lot about who people really were that I hadn't anticipated. I've had some really wild friends over the years. I'm sober, coming up on 20 years in September, and I've I've lived a wild life prior to, you know, my teens, 20s, and 30s were kind of wild, my early 30s. But so I had a wild life, and I don't know where I was going with that. Was I
Just like some of like your relationships
Yeah, my
after it. Yeah.
relationships. Yeah, so the people that I was friends with were very wild too. And a lot of them became very judgmental. And I thought,
Mm.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
I know your story.
Right.
Are you kidding me? I don't even understand this.
Yeah.
But, you live and learn who people are. And anyone who's going to judge me for what I do, they know who I am as a person. And someone told me, you're morally bankrupt. And I said, really? What's morality to you? Because to me, morality is being a good person, being a good parent, a good friend, putting my grocery cart back and not just leaving it in the middle of um, the parking lot. It's helping people and not needing to be recognized for it, the kind of pay it forward thing. Paying for someone's Starbucks in the Starbucks line or the McDonald's line and not telling anybody about it, like doing nice things for other people. And I am kind and loving to my core, and it has hurt me as much as it has helped me in my life. I am um, very giving and very kind, and it's been probably the most hurtful part of my life is being taken advantage of, um, mistaking my kindness for weakness or not realizing that I know you're a snake and I can't believe you're going to try to take advantage of my kindness. Like, damn, I didn't think that's who you were, but
Yeah.
I know now,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But there were a lot of eye-opening experiences like that. But I find that when I put myself in um, events that have people that are like me, Charlotte Supernatural, I know she was on your show. The second I met her, she and I just clicked. We just vibed
How
immediately.
did y'all meet?
We met at Chimera. We were at an event there. I think it was like a vendor show, and there was a concert there. And I had taken some of the kids there for the show. Charlotte and I met that day, and it was just instant vibe. And I love her to the core.
Yeah.
So I like meeting like-minded people who want to know who I am, not just what I did for a living or what I do online, 'cause that's such a little part of who I am.
Yeah, facts.
I will help anybody anytime. And it's been hard because I've been taken advantage of because I've been too nice. But I won't stop being nice for that reason.
Yeah.
I'll take the hits because I would rather be true to myself and continue to help in spite of the people who aren't in my life for the right reasons. But my big thing this year, I don't understand cruel people that are just generally cruel.
Yeah, that's the other just like that.
It's crazy. Do you notice that? Like, it's almost like since COVID, there's been this, you can just really see who people are.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I can say like I like it's like very glaring, like, you know, since COVID, but like just like at a default level, like just people are shitty. People are shitty. Yeah, just like even in just like my 9 to 5, because I'm a leasing agent, so like, you know,
Okay.
dealing with people like, you know, running apartments and all that stuff. Like you'll ask someone, or just again, just dealing with people, man. Like, you know, you'll ask someone for very specific things, and like, you know, they will give them to you. Like they'll, you know, give you, or just like, you know, they'll just treat you as if, you know, like they'll just like talk to you anyhow. You know what I mean? It's just like, dog, like I'll try to help you out, but it's just like even past that, like I wouldn't even just talk to anyone like that. Period. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah, you know. So
Yeah, the cruelty of the world, like we're all fighting to survive. Life is fucking hard.
that's right.
It is hard for all of us. And I know, like, I need a pep talk every day when I get out of bed. Like, here we go. Let's go. Like, I'm the mom. All right, let's go do this. And I try to be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday. And I'm not perfect and I'm going to fall short, but like, I really try to uplift people. And it's just disheartening when I know when people are like that, they're hurt people.
Facts,
That's not a
right?
good excuse. It's not, okay, so you're hurt. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
step up and fix that. And I don't know, it's just important to me to be a giver um, with limits
Sure.
because takers don't have limits. And I just want to leave this world a little bit better when I'm gone and know that I made an impact in, a variety of ways, whether it's helping in the mental health aspect. I've helped a lot in the recovery community. And I don't know, I just want to leave the world a better, brighter place.
No, absolutely. I know, you know, you have like rapport with Vin Diesel as well. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like you're really cool with him too. Like, you know, how did y'all link up? And shout out to Vin Diesel, man. Your clothes are fucking fire, bro. Yeah.
Boy. So we met him at Chimera too, and we just kind of clicked. And he's just such a good human.
Yeah, nah.
Like, that's what I mean when I'm
Facts,
talking
yeah.
about when I meet people, and I've always been a good judge of character. So my dad's like an old school gangster from Brooklyn.
Oh shit.
So he raised me that way. So I've got a lot of street smarts for, an
Yeah.
older woman,
Sure, yeah.
but I've got a lot of street smarts. And then I had the book smarts too. And it definitely has served me to be able to fish out people that, don't necessarily have my best interest at heart or my kids' best interest at heart. And I know both of my kids will tell you when I meet someone in like the friend group and I'm like, better watch that one.
Yeah.
They will come back and we're right.
Yeah.
But it's nice when there's a solid group of people and and they're all helping each other. And so both of my kids have that. So that's like all a mom can ask for. And that's what I try to surround myself with. If somebody isn't bringing joy and light and love to my life, they got to go because I refuse to allow anyone to disrupt my serenity and that whole chaotic vibe and drama. And I want to have a nice life. And
I feel you on that, and it's like, and like, like everyone asks, like, have you? So, like, once you got to that point, was it harder for you to make just new genuine relationships, or was it easier? Because like, I'm even kind of a point. I'm definitely at like a point where like, and just it's going to be how it is for the just for the rest of my run
yeah,
on this earth. Like, I'm protecting like I'm not even going to be around
yeah,
people who aren't
that's right.
smiling.
Yep.
Like, why are you so fucking like what is your deal, bro? Like, golly. Yeah, bro. Like, shit. Like,
No, I mean, I think it gets easier because when you're in that, you can feel people's energy when they're not a good person.
and like you could feel it instantly, and it's just like it almost is like you have to shower immediately just to get the essence off you with that. Like, that shit is crazy. Like,
Yeah, that's right. And I'm always telling my kids, protect your energy, protect your group, and have each other's backs. And I always call it like I have a few hide the body friends. I call them.
Hide the body friends. That's hilarious.
My girls that and my one girlfriend, I won't say her name because I might need her someday.
Yeah.
Like, she's so solid. I can say, I just killed my kids, and she'll come over and take care of it, never speak.
It's like, all right, so yes, what we doing? What we doing about it? Yeah, right.
But not really. I mean,
Yeah,
even on that level,
facts.
but I want people who have my back, and when I leave the room, there's not one chance they're talking shit about me.
Mhm.
And, you know, a friend of my enemy is not my friend.
Yeah, facts.
That's really real. Like, take a look at who your closest friends are. That's who you are. And are you okay with who they are? Because that's who you are. You're known as the people you are closest to. And so I'm very cautious who I invite into my life.
Yeah.
And not everything is for everybody.
Sure.
Everybody doesn't need to know everything.
Sure.
And, you know, it's sad when people see other people succeeding. They try to sabotage it or they get jealous. And there's no need for that. I love when I see like one of my kids' friends succeed with something in music and it's not my kid. Like, yes, like you rally around that person and you lift them up. And, you know, I like being able to be that adult figure who can have a conversation with them about really anything and talk to them like they're humans.
Yeah,
Talk to kids like they're kids.
Yeah, right.
It's like
Yeah.
the world isn't like that anymore. It is not like that. Talk to them like they're human. Like what's really going on in here? And I don't know. Life's rough. Life can be rough, but
For you.
really trying to find my joy. We went to this lantern fest last night. Have you ever seen it on social media where you decorate these Chinese lanterns, these big white lanterns, and it was up in like Newcastle, and you light them and they all take off and they all go up into the sky on fire and they're gorgeous. And it was like this really cathartic thing. And they're playing this very emotional music. And it was kind of like my hopes, what I want to let go of, and watching it all go up. It was just kind of a really cool experience. And I love experiences and making memories and doing things with people to have memories to look back at. And no, life is way too short. It's brief.
Yeah.
We could all walk out and get mowed down by an 18-wheeler.
Yeah. By the same one too. Yeah. You can just loop around. Oh,
Yeah,
got
for
one.
real.
Yeah, facts.
I want the best and brightest for everyone in my life. And
That's just what it comes down to. Yeah, facts. Just kind of switching gears. I was just like in my research was watching one of your jumper interviews. Well, no, your no jumper interview, and you mentioned like a dude recognized you in like a hotel and like was just like hiding behind the fucking pillars, and just like wouldn't approach you or just like say hey or just like, and just like even that experience, like was that like the first experience that made you be like, okay, like this is very much a thing now, and like I have to protect myself or just like kind of just like have that sixth sense about people now. Like,
yeah, because people will say like you are recognized everywhere you go, and I personally still do not believe that because I don't think I look anything like what I look like online. There's filters, there's editing, there's cameras and lighting, and I don't think I look like Mrs. Robinson on the daily. Like I think somebody might walk past me and say, that lady looks like she could be Mrs. Robinson's grandma or something like that. But I'm not dressed like that normally. You know, I'm in sweats and streetwear 9 times out of 10. But no, that experience was very weird. We were in LA. We were staying in a hotel in Hollywood, and my team messaged me, and they were handling my DMs on Instagram, and they said, there's a guy in the lobby. Are you in a hotel lobby right now with your teenager? And I said, yes. And they said, there's a guy there right now, and he doesn't know if he should come up and say hi. And then my teenager saw them like around a pillar. It was just very weird, and just come up and say hi.
oh, like why are you behind
Seattle.
Hitler, bro? Like, come on, like what is up with you, bro? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Or they'll message me and say, I just saw you at Dairy Queen. Like, how? Like, just come up and say something.
Yo hits you after like, yo, I saw you. I didn't know if you saw me.
Picture of me at like the gas station. And I'm like, oh, that's
Like, I mean, like I know it's like a lot of input from them, you know, and like you can't really mitigate that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like how do you protect yourself, just like, you know, like do you just kind of like not go out as much, or like
I'm very careful with where I go.
yeah, facts.
And, when I go to a podcast, I never go alone
Yeah.
because I never know what I'm walking into, and I
Facts,
just want to feel safe.
that's true.
And um, so I am very careful with my surroundings, where I go, where I park. Yeah, I am more cautious for
Definitely.
sure.
Yeah, like did you have any instances like back home, or like is it like are those more like abroad, like where people just kind of recognize you?
I'm always recognized in the airport.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of pictures in the airport.
Yeah.
Um, no, it happens everywhere, more so in LA, and then the airports, and definitely around here too. But I do try to stay very low key in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, sure.
Never really look like Mrs. Robinson around here.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it was weird. I've been going to the same hair salon to the same girl for like 10 years. And I guess there was a guy getting his hair washed next to me, and he knew who I was. And she called me later and was like, if he comes back in, can he get a, I'm like, you should have just,
Yeah, right. What he was.
back shit is really weird to me. But now I'm feeling when I go to like her, like I'm very alert and like hyper.
These after the fact motherfuckers, right? They just gotta figure something out. Yeah.
We're posting social media pictures or stories to not have any identifying things of like our home, and people know where I live, and that's fine. But I do try to keep it as low key as possible.
And you were even saying just like, you know, off camera that like when you got docs, like that's
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yep.
Like, bro, like just
Oh,
even
yeah.
like that just being a part of your day is crazy.
Exactly.
You
Thank
know?
you. Shout out to Ben and Scotty.
Yeah, yeah, should get that shit the fuck out. So what does like I know like again, you know, you plan on moving to LA. What does life look like out there for you?
Yeah. So my hope is to get my kids set up, for the music industry. I know, he's involved in a music collective. They're, for them, they're very solid and they're a great group, and they want better for each other and they lift each other up. And I really would love to be able to get them set up somewhere out there. And I have enough connections where we could do, entry level jobs. And I would really like to get them set up so that I can then, mama can breathe and, kind of do me for once, because I haven't been able to. My daughter's 26, so I've been raising kids for 26 years, and teenager turning 18 this year. So it's coming.
Yeah. I'm like, just like, what about you just even like, you know, solely for you? Because like, I know like, you know, you want to set them up. Would you just kind of really pour into that? Or would you just kind of chill and like just kind of enjoy the fruits of your labor up until this point?
I
Like,
always have projects going on.
yeah.
Yeah, I get like, and I've learned to say no to a lot of projects because I have to feel passionate about it. Right now, I'm in one for marketing and helping any type of content creator market with email marketing lists,
Okay.
digital targeting, and banner advertisements on different websites, and how to target. So if I know you love rap music and you have an iPhone, like, because I don't know if you guys know this, everyone has an online cloud persona that all the brands know about. They know I am 53. They know where I live. They know where I shop. They know I prefer American Airlines. I drive a Jeep. They know that I vape nicotine, like just from all of our action.
Sure.
Big Brother is watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
When people are like, oh, I don't want them, they know.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Yeah. We be lying to ourselves and like, oh, they know, bro.
So what I like about advertising is we can take all that information, find out who's listening to your stuff, and advertise to those people so they can find you online. And I do that a lot on social media, where I'll do targeted advertisements. And it's funny, I had this one guy, this photographer, he's a local guy, and he kept saying, how are these accounts growing? I don't understand. I'm like, it's targeted. You don't understand. These big meme pages will sell ads to a lot of the girls that have OnlyFans pages. I'm sure you've seen it, and the thirst trap ads.
Sure, right.
But those ads convert about 300 people over to OnlyFans for them.
That's crazy.
So one of those ads that everyone hates. So no matter all those kids saying fatherless activities, they're building up the conversion. The engagement is helping to drive traffic for this girl.
But what about like just like the bots though on like Instagram? Like
They're
what is
crazy.
up with the like do you know it's like what's going on with that? Why that's even a thing?
And they do one letter per line.
yeah,
What is
yeah,
that?
nah.
Who's the time for that?
Real shit, right?
And,
Yeah.
and there's lots of fake profiles out there. And I bought the verification on Twitter because I was just about to be verified on Twitter and Elon stopped doing that.
Damn.
I know. So I
right.
bought it and people were like, why would you buy that check mark? Well, here's why. Because there were 10 Mrs. Robinson accounts asking people for money in the DMs. So now you know that's not me because they're not verified.
Like 9 people must have hit some licks though, cause like I'm sure one of those joints like hate for them. Yeah, right, for sure.
Fans are mad. Like, you said you were going to meet me and that's not me. So we're constantly putting up like, that's not us. Only our verified accounts are us.
I could only imagine like a dude that actually followed that. Yeah, no, yeah, like I'll meet you here, and just like followed that lead and just like ended up in the middle of a fucking warehouse. It's just like by himself.
Crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah, and I think everyone should be building each other up on Instagram. It doesn't take a lot to like a post.
Right.
When you see someone like the post, it doesn't hurt you. And
it helps.
Yeah, it helps them. And I find the more I lift up other people and help other people, that comes back to me tenfold. And I don't do it for that reason, but I think we should all just be helping each other more.
No, yeah, and just real quick,
Yeah.
I know you got a Instagram page taken. Like it was like your main like your main Instagram page, right?
12 Instagram pages taken down.
Like why? How did you like even like? How does that not just kind of strike your resolve to be like fuck it,
Because Instagram is the biggest driver of traffic for me. It used to be TikTok. You could put an OnlyFans link on TikTok, and you can't do that anymore. You can only put in like a Hoobie or your Instagram link on TikTok. And once you get them to Instagram, you can have a Hoobie that will, have all of your links on it. But I hadn't even posted anything that was close to breaking TOS, not even close.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of scammers that we could pay. And not last year, the year before, I paid $35,000 to get my account back.
God damn.
Time after time after time. And then I finally said, fuck it, I'm done. I'm not paying any more to get my accounts back. So I have a backup and I have my main. And I try to be so vanilla on it.
Right. Like almost overly damn near, like, yeah.
But yeah, if they take the main down again, I like get depressed when it goes down. I'm like, oh, not again.
All right, so all right, man. I think Ms. Robinson, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. No, this was an incredible conversation. Like, no, I loved it absolutely. But this is, just like the point of the pod, where the floor is yours. If you have any pages to promote, any projects, anything you got going on, definitely, take it upon yourself. But thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate it.
It really was a pleasure. Thank you for asking me to be on the podcast. I love promoting things that are local. I'm sure you'll tag me on the post on Instagram.
Yeah,
so once you go to Instagram, you can click on my Hoobie and it will give you all of my different links if you want to follow me on Twitter or any of the other sites, but they're all there. And I don't know, just leave the world a little better than you found it today. That's my words of wisdom. And work hard, be kind, help others. And thank you.
There you go. Listen, episode 86, MIC Podcast, man, community content. You get it all here, the legendary Mrs. Robinson in the building. And we're out. Yeah.